Good morning, Best Friend Books community. I'm with you this morning to share another of the poems that will be included in our collection, The Thought Collector, which will be published this fall, 2021. And these poems are meant to be enjoyed at multiple levels, so they can be enjoyed by younger children at more of a superficial level. And then hopefully they'll also be able to kind of launch more complex, deep, multi-perspective discussions for older kids to really develop that rich social emotional competence that we're expecting kids to develop as they get a little bit older. So today's poem is called It All Depends, and it is focusing on the social emotional skill of flexible thinking and perspective taking. So a lot of times people who don't have really rich social emotional competence are very black and white thinkers. They establish an opinion about something with limited information, maybe only from one perspective, and then they're really rigid about holding on to that opinion without ever asking. Maybe it looks different from a different perspective. So that's what discussion this poem is meant to launch with a little bit older kids. It can be enjoyed by younger children kind of on a more superficial level, but it can really be taken to different levels and depths of conversation with older kids, even up into the upper elementary grades, junior high, and maybe even high school and beyond. So here is It All Depends. How deep is this water? How tall is this tree? How big is this whale? How small is this pea? How old is this grandma? How young is this child? Take a taste of this pepper. Is it spicy or mild? How warm is this cocoa? How cool is the breeze? How quiet is this mouse? How loud is this sneeze? How fast is this racehorse? How slow is this snail? How dull is this pencil? How sharp is this nail? How mean is this monster? How kind is this friend? The answer to most things is, well, it depends. So I hope that that is a great conversation starter, or maybe a good journal prompt to ask kids to recognize that how tall a tree is very different to an ant looking up than it would look to a giraffe, right? How big is a whale is very different depending on whether you're a tiny minnow in the ocean or whether you are a sea lion. That whale is different in size depending on your perspective and depending on what you're comparing it to. A pea is really tiny, but not when you compare it to an atom. So getting kids to recognize that almost everything in life is somewhat relative, that it depends on your perspective, it depends on your experiences, it depends on the information you have and experiences that you've had in your life. And so that's a great discussion starter, whether you are using it as a standalone social emotional lesson or whether you're using it for a language arts prompt where you're asking your students to compare two characters in a novel or in a storybook that you're reading, or whether you're looking at a current events in social studies and asking kids to analyze what is the right outcome in a given situation or the right action, or looking at historical events even, or science for that matter, is a great opportunity to have that discussion about how nothing is completely black and white and how important it is to look at things from different perspectives and gain all the information you can before you make judgments and decisions. So I hope you enjoyed It All Depends and that you go into your day today with flexible thinking and considering the perspectives of other people. Have a wonderful day.